Raking, trimming, and a lot of painting
Getting a fresh coat on there.
make for a busy morning at a once forgotten cemetery.
Just trying to clean it up.
And the work is made all the more meaningful upon learning who is buried here.
Slaves.
Shelton's Bear Creek Cemetery in West Irving is the final resting place for former slaves and their family members.
It's one of the most unique markers.
Anthony Bond found out about this cemetery in the mid-1980s.
Cattle was grazing in here. There were beer bottles, wine bottles. You wouldn't be able to get your camera in here on that day. It was just completely neglected.
Our first video is from a few years after that. Since then, he has made it a mission to get it cleaned up. The transition is remarkable.
I like the brush better.
This day, he is getting help from repeat volunteers. The Mu Gamma chapter of Omega Psi-Phi
We want to just make sure it's a sacred place and here for generations.
and St. Mark's Episcopal Church.
When we can come together shoulder to shoulder and work for a project for good, it's a way that love is able to bloom in the world.
It's just a way to honor the dead.
All are moved by the history of this site and the ties to slavery.
I know I'm standing on the ground of people that paved the way for me, and everybody's be here today. So it's deep every time you think about it.
I'm standing on the shoulders of them. And so anything that I can do to make sure that their place of resting is a little bit better than it was when I came, I want to do that for sure.
In addition to the work you see happening here at the cemetery, volunteer genealogists are at work behind the scenes trying to figure out more about just who's buried here. Already, their work is paying off with some surprises.
I just found out that I've got a distant relative that's in my genealogical tree buried here. I always knew that God brought me here.
Fraternity member Rodney Fennell also got some news.
I actually found out through Sherry Johnson.
I got on my database and said, yeah, he's got two families that are here. So he did not know that.
Words can't explain it, man. It's something that I love doing now because it's something close to my heart.
The volunteer genealogists are posting on a website called Find a Grave to help provide answers for more families.
It's part of my community that's been my home for over 35 years. I wanted to bring the families back to this place that had been abandoned for so long.
Online and on site,
Yeah, you need some gloves, boy.
they have accomplished a lot. Still, there is plenty of work to do. No one knows who is buried in many of these graves.
I'd like to actually know who is actually here,
A lot of these graves you can see, it's just simply like a little marker or a stone. These plants behind you, that's an old African burial custom.
I hope that more people start coming out and taking care of it and grooming it and getting to a better place.
They are making a difference by preserving the past, even as development flourishes around this historic cemetery.
History is important and it carries on to next generation.
Thomas Gandy for City Source.